Hello everyone, hope you've been keeping nice and busy. The first lesson that I'm going to do with you is a loom knitting video. Now this is a lesson that I usually do with 5th grade students. However, because you'll be able to pause the video, I do feel that a lot of younger students will be able to do this as well. It will also be helpful if maybe you can grab an adult for like 5 minutes to help you get set up, because once you're on your own and you're knitting and you're doing the loops going forward, it's very easy. So what you need is a toilet paper roll. If you have popsicle sticks, I highly suggest you use popsicle sticks to make your loom, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I didn't bring any popsicle sticks home with me, so what I did to solve that problem is I grabbed some colored pencils and I taped them as if instead of taping down the popsicle sticks. If you use popsicle sticks, feel free to glue them on instead. However, I do want my pencils back when I'm done, so I just taped them down. And I taped them down so that they were about equally far away from each other. It's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I made sure that about only an inch was hanging off the edge here, from the edge of the toilet paper roll over to the pencil. You'll have a bunch extra hanging down, don't really worry about that. You're only going to be focused at really what's at the top here. After you have your loom set up, and notice I put a lot of tape on here. You really want to make sure that these are secured and that these pencils or popsicle sticks are not going to slide around on you, because it will make the knitting hard. Once you have a good and secured loom, what you are going to do is take your yarn. Now you can use string, you can use yarn, anything really will work with this that is sort of string-like. And what you are going to do is you are going to take the end of it, and I like to have my helper thumb, this hand over here, kind of hold it down so it doesn't move. Then you are going to set up your loom. This part can be tricky, so again, if you need an adult to come help you out and they're around, feel free to ask. You can message me and I'll do my best to help you out, but try to watch because you want to go behind the pencils, not in front of them. So what you can do is you take your string and you go behind, wrap it around, then you go to the next one, you want to go behind it, wrap it around, then you want to take your next string, you want to go from the back and wrap it around, then again the back, wrap it around, and the back and wrap it around. If any of you had a brother or a sister in 5th grade last year, so now they'll be a 6th grade student, they did this lesson and they were amazing at it. So they would also be a good helper for you in doing this, setting it up. Once you have wrapped your string around your 5 popsicle sticks or pencils or whatever you're using for your loom, before we go forward, take a minute to make sure it's the right way. You want to make sure that if you look at your pencil here, that there's only one string on here. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to take one off just to show you, if you had accidentally wrapped the other way, you will notice that on this orange pencil here, I would have had 2 strings here. So that's a good way to tell if you've set it up right or not, is you want to make sure that you don't have these 2. Can you see the difference, how these other ones all have 1? So to review that again, after you get from this pencil, you want to take this string and wrap it around the back. And the back is the area closest to the inside of the tube. So you go to the back, you wrap it around, and now you're ready to start knitting. So while you're traveling with your string, you're just going to continue around in that circle. So after the orange one, I'm going to always go to the yellow. From the yellow, I'm going to go to the tan, and then to the around and around and around. So you still, again, you go to the back, wrap it around, and now you have 2 strings here. What you want to do is, after you've wrapped it, you take that bottom string and you slide it over the top one, and then you're going to lift it right off the pencil. And so we'll do it again. So you are going to wrap around the back of the pencil, wrap it around. You end up with 2 strings. You take the bottom one, you kind of tug on it, make it looser, lift it up and over that one, and then take it right off. This is also similar and also known as finger knitting. So if you don't have a loom, you can always just look up some finger knitting, and you can do this on your own, just on your fingers. Why I like using the loom better though is because if I got bored after a while, I could stop and then I could continue later or even the next day. So again, we'll do that one more time. We take our string, we wrap around the back, getting that second loop. So we should only have 2. You take it over and you lift it over. Now, to double check that you're wrapping it the right way, remember, when we wrap the wrong way, we get, instead of getting 1 extra loop, we get 2. So to kind of show you that again, I'm going to do this next one on the blue the wrong way. So don't copy this, but I just wanted to make sure as a little check-in that we're not wrapping it the wrong way. If I forget and I wrap around the front, do you notice how I ended up with 3 lines? You don't want that. You want to go around the back. So again, you want to go the side near the tube, around, and then with these 2 lines, lift the bottom one and lift it over the top. Once you get that down, that's all you have to do. You wrap it around the back and then you lift it over, and you will continue that until it gets really, really long. You'll start to notice that your creation, your little snake that you're making, is going to pop down through the middle here. And you can make this however long or short that you want. It can be used as a necklace, it can be made into a bracelet. I have one at school that stretches from the whiteboard all the way down to the other side of the classroom that I can show you when we get back to school. Those of you who make them that long, they can actually then be made into things like a scarf or some other kinds of similarly shaped things that I can kind of show you more once I have the really long one back when we get back to school. So if you're interested in that, bring it up to me. I'll probably forget. But if you mention it to me, it's really easy for me to take it out and show you how I made it into a scarf. Anywho, as you do this the right way, a good tip is you can start to see that your lines are going to match up. So, if you're down here, you can see the previous, let's get this guy out of the way for a minute. So you can see the previous line that you made, kind of the light, there you go. You can kind of see that line that's right in there. It'll be easier to see on yours. When you do your next one, that line, can you see how they kind of are matching? If that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. All you need to do is to make sure that you are going behind and wrapping, double checking that you have 2 lines here, lifting it up and over. Feel free to back the video up. I'm going to do this one more time, but if you need more, you can always stop and back the video up and re-watch it until you get it. Again, once you get the process down, all you need to do is wrap around the back and then lift over until you feel that your string is long enough. So again, that last time around this yellow pencil is you are going to go around the back, wrap it around, you end up with 2 strings. You take the bottom one and you lift it right over the top. Alright, and that's pretty much it. So feel free, like I said, to rewind back if you need a little bit more help with that. Grab an adult, have them watch, and I will be back in a second video to show you how to take it off the loom.